Hello students, today we will learn how to add a text component in PowerPoint. Here when you click on the T, that is the text component in PowToon, so it will give you option to add three types of text, that is add title. So the title is of the font size 50. If you want to add a subtitle, that is of font size 32, and if you want to add a body text, that is of font size 24. So depending on the font size that you want, you can add a text. If you don't want a text there, just select and delete button on your keyboard. Now to add a text in this placeholder, you double click in the placeholder and it will be selected like this. You can see some blue line over there, and press the delete key on your keyboard. And here, supposing I write good morning and exclamation. So this is my text written in the title font. Now, when you click outside, the text is not selected. And when I click on this again, the text is selected. Here, these are the font size options. You can increase the font size more if you want by clicking on the plus sign. And from here, the placeholders, you can make it larger, or you can turn it around if you want it tilted. And again, this lock icon will lock the text box in that area. You cannot move it around, you cannot delete it, no operation can be done on it. Again, if you want to unlock, you have to press this unlock button, and then you can make the editing changes. You can change the color of the text. Select the color button and the whole text gets the same color, or from here you can choose any other shade of the color. Or if you want to select any color which is there in the background on the slide, you can use the color picker or color sampler. It changes into a magnifying glass. So if I bring my magnifying glass here and I want this particular shade of purple, so I bring the center here on this shade, click it, and that shade comes here in the color box, and also the text becomes of that particular shade. Now if I click on this settings gear icon, I go into the settings for the text. The first option here is you can change the font type. When you click on the drop down box, here you have different font types that you want to select. You can scroll down and you can select from a multiple set of font size available, font types available. If you want a particular font type, supposing you like this sophisticated and you feel you will be using it quite often in making your PowToons, so you can start this, you can make this as a favorite font. So when you click on this star, so it is added here in the favorites. When you click on the favorites here, you can see the sophisticated font has become your favorite font. So next time you don't need to scroll through all the fonts to look for your font. You can straight away go to favorites and look for your favorite font styles which you have chosen. Or if you click on the search box, you can search the font by writing the name of the font over here. The next thing here is the font. You can click on this list box and scroll down to select your font size, whatever font size you want. It gets that font size. And here I want to make this Bonjour favorite. And then the next thing you can do is you can make a text bold, italic, and underline. These are the formatting available. Now I'll just quick make it chunky, supposedly again. And with the formatting options BIU, if I click on B, the whole text has become B. If I again click on it, so this is a toggle. It will make it bold or unbold. Same way, this I is a toggle button. When I click it once, it becomes italic, and when I click it again, it becomes straight. Similarly, for the underline, the U. But here, we can also select one by one letters. Supposing I select this letter D and I want to change the color of it. So I can change the particular color of one particular letter. I can make it italicized. I can make it underlined. So this is called smart editing. Same way I can do for any other text. And select the text, and then I can make it increase the font size. I can increase the font size. I can't increase the font size of a particular text. Only the font size of the whole text will be increased. So for a single letter, you can change. Let us see if we can change the font style. No, the font style also changes only for the whole text and in one go. So for the one single letter, you can change either the bold, italic, underline features, or you can change the color of that text. Likewise, if I go back in the settings, you can change the opacity of the text. Okay, before opacity, here you can change the alignment of the text. You can make it left aligned completely in the text box, or you can make it center aligned or right aligned. So if you increase the placeholder size, you'll be able to see it better. Now, if I make it go left in the center of the placeholder or in the right hand side. And this one is to change the spacing between letters. So right now it is 0. If I make it 6 or 1.2 it is, that is, so the spacing has increased between the letters. And if I increase the line spacing, so between the lines the spacing is increasing here. If I say reset spacing, so everything will be reset to the original one. The next here is bullets. You can either add the bullet points here to the text if there are multiple lines of text, or the numbering to the text. If you don't want it, you just click on it one more time. That is a toggle button. Then the opacity, if I click, it is completely opaque right now. It is showing completely 100%. If I decrease the opacity, you will have to first select the text for this. So I select the text and then click on opacity. Yeah, can you see it has become opaque? It has become transparent, less opaque. So you can change the opacity, how much opaque you want the text to be. How opaque or transparent can be changed from opacity. Then we have effects here. When you click on effects, it asks you to apply the enter effect or the exit effect for your text. In the enter effects, if you click no effect, then no effect will be applied on the text. If you click pop and you say, okay, let us see the pop effect. So when I press this play slide, so the text appears after 5 seconds in my slide and it pops up. I'll just make it come at the second. I drag this and bring it on the, after 2 seconds the text should appear. So you can drag this from the text holder and decide when the text appears on the timeline. So now again I click on the settings gear and effects. If I say I want the writing style to be word by word, so I click this word by word. If I say I want it letter by letter, then these are different text effects available. And also It can come bouncing up, or it can slide right, left, up, down, or there are some reveal options here. So I have selected for the enter right now the second style of handwriting. Now let me run this from the play slide. So you can see a hand appears and it is writing the text. Again, I click on the text here in the timeline, and I can it came back at 5 seconds. I want to appear it at 1 second. So I click here, the settings, then effects. If you choose text effects, then they will show by word by word. This will be word by word, and this is letter by letter typing style. Now if I click on the exit effect, I can choose from these exit effects which are available. If I wanted to slide down when it is exiting, so now when I play the slide, it appears at the first second, at 1 second, and the one letter was coming at a time, and now it is going to slide down when it exits the slide. So these are the effects you can apply. You can also apply these effects right from here in the timeline. When you click on the text here, you can see at the on the left hand side of this part, these are the enter effects you can apply, and on the right side of the timeline for the text, you can choose the exit effects for this text, and you can decide from the from the left hand side, you can decide when do you want this text to appear, and from the right hand side corner of this turquoise line on the timeline, you can decide at what point the slide should disappear, the text should disappear. So these are the different effects you can apply for the text. Then next you can add some designed text here. When I scroll down here, you have some different designed text. If I click on text elements and you want to add some text with an idea, supposingly, so here is a text with an idea which will pop up at 5th second. And here when I click on the text, double click on the text, so you can type something, double click, delete, and write my idea. And if you don't want this one, you can just click it and press the delete key on your keyboard. And now when I run the slide from beginning, play slide, so first this good morning text is appearing, and on the 5th second my idea text was appearing. Like this you can change and add some other text elements, design text you can add. There are multiple design texts available from which you can choose whatever text you want. I hope you enjoy working on the text.